Yeah, I mean, not that it'll break my heart, don't I, this one.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting of the Mystery School District of Mystery Lake Board of Trustees to order. We have regrets from Vice Chair Tomaszewski and from Trustee Oliveira. This board meeting is being broadcast on Facebook Live, and the meeting can be attended in person. Trustees, staff, and the public must pre-screen before entering the board office. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we are signatories of Treaty 5, and we reside in the traditional territory of the Nissechewiazik Cree Nation, and we are all treaty people. Can I have a motion to approve? Pardon?
Leslie Tucker is phone.
Oh, hi Leslie, sorry. Should also note that Trustee Tucker is participating by phone.
Hello.
For that, can I get a motion to approve the agenda today, please? Trustee Cripps, Trustee Anderson, any questions, additions? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The motion is carried. Can I get a motion for adoption of the minutes of the meeting of September the 27th? Trustee Anderson?
I wasn't here.
You can still second it?
I second.
There we go. Trustee Cripps, thank you very much. Any errors or omissions? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The motion is carried. We have no delegations and presentations, and we have no business from the previous meeting, correct? Superintendent of Human Resources and Policy Report.
I provided you with a written report. Bulk of what I've been up to in the last bit has been in negotiations with the USW for both the 8223 local or 00 local as well as the 8223-13 local, and I'm in the process right now. I am been in heavy consultation with MSBA with regards to a FIPR request that we've received. So, being the FIPR officer, it's my responsibility to respond. So, and that's all. Any questions?
Any questions? Superintendent of Educational Services and Programming.
I submitted my report. You received it a little bit late. I believe you received it today. I apologize. So just a couple of highlights. I know the last time we met, I was in dire need of some numeracy support folks. I'm happy to say that we have secured 5 people. They will start tomorrow, the training for the numeracy support, so I'm pretty happy about that. Still looking for a couple of other positions, 2 at Artie Parker to support some classrooms. And those are, again, the strengthening student support and learning dollars that we will receive for this year. Tammy Bodnaric and myself attended the job fair, not last week, the week before, that was hosted at Artie Parker. It was well attended both by students and potential employees or employers. So both gyms were packed. There were over 40 vendors. It was very interactive. Students had great questions. It was kind of nice having them come up and ask, who we were, because being the school district of Mystery Lake and they're being students of Artie Parker, there was a lot of interesting conversation, and they didn't realize how many different jobs there were available through the district. So that was good, and we did receive a few resumes from the public in the evening part. So just want to thank Courtney Boschman and Jeff Parody on a successful event. The changes to this year's calendar have been made and submitted to the province. Also, the new calendars are available on our website and Facebook page. And I will leave the last one because it's later in the agenda. Okay.
Any questions? Secretary Treasurer's report.
Do you guys know how many people attended, like looking for a job?
In the evening portion, for us, we probably had about 15 people come to our table with resumes. We took a few resumes, lots of good questions. So it was mostly geared for the high school students, but yeah, it was well attended.
Secretary Treasurer's report.
Good evening. Circulated in your board packages is the check register for the month of September. The expenditures for September, account payable of $1,612,848.24 was processed. The teacher payroll of $2,235,353.66, as well as non-teaching payroll of $774,672.03. At this time, I recommend that the expenditures for September 2022 in the amount of $4,622,873.93 be approved.
Can I have a mover, please? Trustee Anderson, Trustee Cripps, any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The motion is passed.
I also have included the year-to-date expenditures as they were on October the 6th. So we're 11.4% through the school year. Our approved budget of $45,188,187 for this year. And we have year-to-date expenses of 11.4%, which equal at this time $5,160,796. So for the first month, we're tracking on plan. I've included the financial dashboard. There's been no changes to the undesignated operating surplus from last meeting. The strengthen student support and learning remains unchanged at $393,902. And the additional special needs funding still remains at $118,290. At the last board meeting, we had announced that from the Child Nutrition Council of Manitoba, we had received a $25,000 grant directed to the Wapanut Breakfast Program, which generated conversation for the other breakfast programs in the district. So at this time, we have a variety of breakfast and snack program funding from outside grantors. The total amount is $133,822 for this year. The year-to-date expenses as of October 6th, $3,622.69. I've also included in your package the breakdown by schools by each funder. So at this time, Burtwood School has $50,480. Juniper School has $5,800. There is one grant in progress that will be included in next report for Juniper School. Artie Parker is supporting their breakfast program through their block budget funding from the district. And Wapanut Community School has received $77,542 from outside funding. So there's substantial dollars that are going in to support our nutrition programs in the school.
So that amount for Wapanut does not include this additional grant yet, or does it?
The $25,000 is included in Wapanut 77. The third page of my report shows the full detail.
Okay. Thank you.
Do
Any
they
other?
run breakfast program every day at Wapana?
Yes, I believe so, yes. Yeah, and they provide breakfast actually for every child in the school. And they're doing, right now it's called a bucket system, only because they haven't started their hot meals. So every day the teacher will come in and grab their bucket for their students, and they try to have a variety every day, so it's not always the same
Right.
meal. Yeah.
So the other school same, like, I mean, you mentioned junior school and what do they have?
I know Parker Collegiate has distributed through their parent message the daily breakfast program that's available to the students from 8 to 8:30 every day. Brentwood School is a daily program. I believe Juniper is a daily snack program.
So all those programs are run by teachers or volunteer with parents?
The volunteers right now.
It's mostly
at,
volunteers.
Parker is volunteer and Wapanuck is volunteer. Yeah.
Most of the grant funding, there is guidelines around the use of the funds, and we can't direct it towards resources. It goes to product in the schools.
Yeah, like human resources.
So here at the board office, we track the spending and then assist when needed to help out with the grant reporting.
Are one of these grants like stuff that you apply for, no matter what, like, I don't want to go to Walmart per se and give $1? Like that doesn't come to our schools,
No, the
does it?
schools apply for these individually, or I believe in the 100 Women Who Care, people will nominate a program. But it's individual efforts that are going in behind securing these dollars.
The Family Violence Initiative is one that comes through the RCMP. Sandy Dybert applies for that. Yeah. Yeah, others are just individual.
Brentwood must have applied for Brentwood or Breakfast Club of Canada.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the Breakfast Club of Canada is one program that once they get through the first intake of application, that it can be a recurring, and makes it perhaps a little easier through the application process
And-
in following years.
Sorry, and the Child Nutrition Council, we sit on that as a district, and basically you sit on that when there's a need has been proven, so that's why we're at that table. Yeah.
So we'll continue tracking that to give you the expenditures, so how we're supporting food insecurity in the district.
One last question. That's fairly comparable with previous years? Excuse me.
We've had some larger carry forward balances than previous, just due to the nature of COVID and not full in-school learning or what have you. So that did put a larger carry forward in one of our elementary schools, but generally this is indicative of year over year.
I imagine too, I mean, with not providing, with COVID, you weren't providing a lot of sit down hot meals like they've done in the past. So
No, so schools got very creative. There was baskets and food hampers sent home and stuff, and so there was support that way, but not all the schools had as great a need as other areas. Depended on the school community themselves, which supported hampers and that for delivering home.
New business, borrowing bylaw, second reading. Borrowing bylaw 01/23 is required for the provision of the district's operating line of credit, $6 million, and the Visa cards for $30,000 for senior administration and school administration. The bylaw is renewed on an annual basis. It covers one fiscal year. This bylaw passed first reading during the September 27, 22 regular board meeting. The recommendation is that borrowing bylaw number 01/23 receive second reading. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Trustee Anderson, Trustee Cripps. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Second reading is passed, which brings us to third reading, which reads exactly the same. Borrowing bylaw 01/23 is required for the provision of the district's operating line of credit. And I'm just going to assume everyone remembers what I said before. And the recommendation is that borrowing bylaw 01/23 receive third and final reading. Can I have a mover and seconder, please? Trustee Cripps, Trustee Anderson. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion is passed. The Thompson Aboriginal Education Advisory Committee, TAAC, with Mamata Tawiswan, the wonder we are born with, an Indigenous education policy framework. The Thompson Aboriginal Education Advisory Committee efforts are now embedded in Manitoba's provincial education system. At the September 14, 2021 reorganizational meeting, Chairperson McDonald was appointed to the Thompson Aboriginal Education Advisory Committee. The committee was successful in achieving its original objectives, and those objectives can now be achieved through other processes that are already in place. And the recommendation is that the Board of Trustees disband the Thompson Aboriginal Education Advisory Committee, TAAC. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please?
Are we gonna tell the backstory of why this is happening?
We will.
Not only okay.
Trustee Anderson, Trustee Cripps. With that, the backstory.
So this is a committee that's been around for a number of years in the district, and I think we've achieved our mandate, and with the amount of other community committees that we also sit on, it's basically the same people over and over at all these meetings. I'm fairly confident that we're moving in the right direction. All of our schools, district plans, everything, there's always an Indigenous education component in all the work that we do. So I thought that this is probably the time that we are able to disband the committee. And at any time, people can bring forward any concerns. There are avenues for that to happen. So.
Yeah, and the group's primarily composed of outside, like agencies from outside the school district. So we're using their time when we're already using their time for the same thing.
Right.
So, any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion is carried. Next up is Experiences Canada Exchange Program 22-23. Sean Kennedy, a junior high teacher from Westwood Elementary School, and his students have been tentatively approved for an in-person exchange for 26 youth and 3 chaperones. They have the opportunity to be twinned with École Secondaire St. George's, located in Senneville, Quebec. And the recommendation is the Board of Trustees approve in principle participation in the twinning exchange program being offered by Experiences Canada, subject to all travel and health restrictions. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Trustee Anderson, Trustee Cripps. Any more details?
Just that it's time sensitive. They have to have a response back to Experience Canada by the 14th of this month. They are providing funding for travel to almost $40,000, so it's a great opportunity. And for us, or the school, they're looking at trying to line that up with Mile 20 and Spring Ceremony, so it would be probably the last week of May or the beginning of June.
There are some significant paperwork that needs to be done. Apparently the kids, the accommodation is billeting, so obviously they want, the child abuse registries done, police checks all done, and that is in a bit of a backlog now. That's why it's time sensitive that it be approved in principle at this point.
When would it happen?
When would it happen?
Yeah, I mean, we have to get it approved right away, but we should actually schedule for it.
Oh, it'll be later spring. And I had a chance to go on a civic exchange to Saint-Hyacinthe, just outside of Montreal, and all the paperwork was in, and it was a really rewarding experience for the community that came here and the students that went out. So
This used to happen all the time. I remember this happening.
yeah, with the French program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, if your kid goes,
You have to bill it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can. I mean, they're not saying parents are, I mean, providing that, I mean, all the checks are done and what have you, but, and I'm imagine there'll be teachers that would volunteer as well if there weren't enough people.
And it's grade 8.
It was decades ago, but we did this. We wound up building 2, and they were hilarious. It was fun.
Yeah, yeah. And it's grade 8 students.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Any other
The
questions?
students have some basic French language training already then?
Well, our kids, starting in grade 4, take a basic French. It's actually a communication and culture course. So they will have the basic.
You will find these exchange students, because I can remember this and just not even being part of the exchange, but tagging along as an interpreter when I was in high school for some people, because I'm assuming their French will be their primary language. Their English will be, but I mean, it's amazing how you can kind of communicate and get by, even though.
Google Translate.
Yeah, now I guess. Yeah, they didn't have that now.
You've been replaced.
Yeah.
Any other questions? All those in favor? Aye. Any-
Aye.
Okay. Motion is carried. Sorry, my computer screen just took a big jump and skipped a bunch of stuff that is prone to do. Correspondence, Manitoba School Board Association. The electronic bulletin is part of the meeting package, and if you want to read it, you can go ahead. There's a call for presentations for the 2023 Canada School Board Association Congress. So if anyone's got an interest in making a presentation, there's the opportunity to apply to that. Basically, the information is also part of the board package.
It's due by December 19th.
Pardon me?
The due date for submissions is December 19th.
Thank you. Okay, due date for submissions is December the 19th.
Could it be send, excuse me, couldn't we send the presentation that we gave to the minister when he was here? Or she was here? What?
The deputy minister?
Yeah, the deputy minister. Couldn't we send
Well,
that?
if you're looking at doing a presentation, like there is the land-based learning and there's Indigenous education, if that's something we want to consider, I think we'd have to sit and have a discussion. Yeah.
Just a reminder that for the Manitoba School Board Association convention, that the deadline for resolutions and supporting rationale is Friday, November the 4th, and yeah, I guess I should read this out. The Resolutions and Policy Committee is inviting member boards to submit resolutions for consideration at the Association's 2023 Annual Convention. The deadline for receipt of resolutions and supporting rationale is November 4th. As noted in MSBA Bylaw 511C, requests for action resolutions are items that direct the association to do something, either directly or through its lobbying efforts, and these requests are time limited to 3 years or the completion of the requested action. So we had talked about getting a resolution ready. We would have to have it ready for voting at the next meeting, because the incoming board won't have a chance to vote before.
Yeah, 'cause the next
I mean,
meeting is the 8th after
Yeah,
that.
their inaugural meeting won't be until after the deadline. Canadian School Board Association is running a strategic plan survey. Participation in the survey is open to all trustees. It's not just, is it just boards? It is just boards, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So the link to the survey is included in the board package. Trustees are encouraged to participate individually, and as they point out, every response counts. So doing it as a group doesn't make it better, it makes it worse. And sorry. Sorry, the survey will close October 7th.
Yeah, I just realized now.
October 7th?
That's what it says. This may not be as timely as they hope.
Too late.
Sorry.
They put it out with 1 week. Went out September 28th, and it's already closed. Okay, we don't have to worry about that one.
No, I had it noted the 27th. Sorry, my apologies.
I think it's more that they were pretty optimistic. With that, moving on to committee. Oh, sorry. Manitoba Education and Early Childhood Learning is pleased to launch the 2022-23 Manitoba's Excellence in Education Awards. Once again, celebrate outstanding teachers and school administrators who go above and beyond to benefit students. The awards highlight the remarkable contribution of educators whose outstanding educational practices have a deep and lasting impact on both student achievement, engagement, and well-being. Virtually everybody, school trustees, superintendents, principals, colleagues, students, and parents teachers or administrators for this award. The award categories include teaching excellence, outstanding new teacher, outstanding team collaboration, outstanding school leader, and the Premier's Award for Excellence in Education. Each recipient will be presented with a certificate of recognition and a monetary gift of $500. And the admission deadline for nominations is December the 2nd. And there's material that's being circulated in the school office. Right?
Yes.
Also, Facebook and website or no?
Can be.
Okay. So, it's not just trustees, it's students, parents. You've got a teacher that you particularly love, this is worth doing. And with that, committee reports. I suspect it's being fairly sparse, but policy,
We have a meeting tomorrow, actually, at
education and programming,
5. We had a meeting, the last meeting, and we probably won't have another one until October this year.
public relations,
Vice Chair Township.
Pardon?
We haven't scheduled one. Our chair's away.
and finance.
I think our next meeting is 6 p.m. on October the 25th.
And with that, trustee comments.
Yeah.
Trustee
This open house tomorrow between 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the new Sobering Center. I do remember the school board and the school district had concerns of the location. And I just want to go, I will go to check out and see how and we did have a meeting with the city, they heard us. And I will go tomorrow and check it out and see how it is implemented. I believe it's only phase 1. There's more phases to be done in the future. And the other thing is the CBC Radio is having a community feast on Thursday at Mamaluta Friendship Center. They want to hear what we as Northerners to say and what kind of stories or what's our priorities. So please go. I think it's open invitation, but if you do plan to go, please RSVP. And you can call Dee at Mamaluta Friendship Center to get more information. I believe it's between 4 to 8. Let me double check. So this is second time CBC radio in Thompson, which is wonderful because usually I feel, we're the Northerners and we're the second child, we're the stepchild. Our voice is not heard, so it's great that they do put some attention to us. So So sorry, I don't have the details, but it is tomorrow. It is Thursday at the Friendship Center. That's it.
Trustee Anderson?
All I have is the Halloween parade on Sunday at 11. I believe the details are on their Facebook page, like the route and everything will be mapped out. But yeah, hope to see a lot of kids out.
Trustee Tucker?
Sorry, I'm just connected.
And just a reminder that although we're not going to need an election for school trustees, there will be an election for city council. And the councilor's debate is tomorrow at the Leckerman Theater at 7:30. And we encourage everyone to go and have a listen to see who's running.
Doors open at 7.
Pardon me?
The doors open at 7.
Oh, doors open at 7. The debate starts at 7:30. There we go. And with that, questions from the public about items pertaining to the agenda?
No.
We're good. With that, can I get a motion to move in camera in 10 minutes, please? Trustee Anderson?
Second?
Trustee Cripps? All those in favor? Aye. Motion is carried. Thank you.